everybody. Welcome to Music Moves for Piano, Book 3, Unit 16B. Today we're going to finish up everything that we have left for Unit 16, starting with our song to sing, which is called My Snowman. I'm going to sing this song. Can you move your upper body in a very loose and free manner, like you're full of air? Can you sing, please, the starting tone syllable of the song? La. Is this song in duple or triple meter? This is in duple meter. Go ahead and echo these rhythm patterns. Do, day, do, here I go. Day, do, day, do, day, do, do. Day, do, to do. Let's think about the function of each pattern. Day, do, do, do. Upbeat. Day, do, to do. Also an upbeat pattern. Go ahead and think about where these rhythm patterns occur in the song. So first pattern, day, do, do, and day, do, to do. And I'll do it, the song, the correct number of times now. Bum, ba, 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 bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. That's it. Pretty short. So we have our first rhythm pattern and then the second rhythm pattern, and that's the whole song. Is this song in major or minor tonality? This is in minor tonality. Bum, ba, ba, bum, bum, bum. Echo these tonal patterns, please. Bum, 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 bum. Go ahead and think about now the function of each of these after we sing the syllables. La, mi, la, mi, tonic, minor tonic, mi, do, minor tonic, mi, la, minor tonic. So they're all tonic patterns. Let's think about where those tonal patterns happen in the song. La, mi, think about that. Bum, ba, 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 bum, 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 ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. So it's right away at the beginning of the song with several passing tones in between. La, la, on up to me. So when we're doing the tonal patterns for some songs that we've learned, and we talk about surface structure tonal patterns and then deeper structure tonal patterns, here's an example in a song to sing. We have la, mi, bum, ba, 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 bum. There's our deeper structure tonal pattern. Think about mi, do. Where does that happen in the song? Bum, ba, 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 bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. So right after that first one, ba, 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 mi, do. Now think about mi, la, bum, ba, 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 bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. This one is at the end, and it's the same thing as our la, mi. We have passing tones. Mi, ba, ba, bum, la, la, mi, la, mi, stepping down to la. Deeper structure tonal patterns. Go ahead and sing the song with me. Bum, 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 sing with me. Bum, ba, 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 bum, bum, when we had the Royal Guards and it was all tonic patterns, we used only tonic chords to harmonize. With this one, even though we hear the pattern mi, la, remember that mi can be either tonic or dominant. And also we have mi, re on a strong beat. So that's going to give us an opportunity for a dominant chord. Oh, I am just hearing D minor a little bit higher than it is on my piano. Either I'm sharp or the piano's flat, and I imagine it's the former. Well, the piano's also flat, but so I guess it's both. So I'm going to play we'll do La and Mi for our tonic and dominant changes. Go ahead and sing the melody with me. Bum, 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 sing with me. Bum, ba, 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 ba. Bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. Go ahead and sing those root changes. Bum, 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 bum. Now, I'll play the melody while we sing those root changes again. Bum, 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 sing with me, bum. No. Playing that part, don't sing that part. Bum, 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 one more time. Bum, 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 bum. Let's go ahead and stand up. We're going to move in triple meter. Ugh. Do, da, dee, do. Chant macro beats on do. Do, do, do. Micro beats. Do, da, dee, do, da, dee, do, da, dee, do, da, dee. I chant micro beats. You chant divisions. Do, da, dee, do, da, dee, do, da, dee. Switch. Do, da, 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 dee, da, do, da, 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 dee, da, do, da, 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 dee, da, do, da, 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 dee, da. I'll chant micro, let's do it the other way. You chant micro beats, I'll chant a tie pattern. Here we go. Do da dee da dee da dee do da dee. I'll chant micro beats, you chant a tie pattern. Ready, chant. Do da dee do da dee do da dee do da dee. Now, if there are two of you on the other side of the camera, one chant micro beats, the other chant a tie pattern. The second time, switch. If there's one of you on the other side, chant two tie patterns. Do da dee do, ready, chant. 1, 2. Go ahead and join me in singing the Royal Guards. Bum, 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 bum. So sing it with me. After we're done, I'd like for you to sing the starting tone and see if you can just rock to the macro beats. Ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Starting tone. Bum, me. I'm going to sing a song called The Boxer. Ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, bum, bum. So you can either find the macro beats and micro beats for this song, or if you want to do a creative movement, close your eyes and pretend that you're a wiggly jellyfish. You can choose what you want to do. Ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum, bum. Let's do some tonal patterns in major. These are getting us ready to do more tonic and subdominant patterns, but We're doing groups of 2 like we did before. Groups of 2 patterns will do some tonic and subdominant, some with dominant as well. So we've got several different things we're throwing in here. Do, so, mi, do, ti, do. If you can, just try to notice for yourself what chords we're singing as we sing. Just try to notice. We're not talking about that today, just for yourself. So, mi, do, ti, do. Bum, 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 bum. 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 Bum, 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 More tonic and subdominant patterns along with our dominant patterns. All right, let's come to the keyboard. Sit nice and tall. Check your distance. Make sure you're all ready to go. So we're going to look at the other 2 keyboard geography and technique items over on the left side here. And these are all about minor triads. So we're going to play minor triads on 12 piano keys. So what we're going to do today is a pop quiz. Here we go. When I say which one to play, you can play these any way that you want. You can play broken, you can play blocked, you can play the arpeggio, you can play arpeggiated, and then left, right, together. However you want is fine. I'm going to use probably that last one just to give you time if that's how you wanted to play. Here we go. F sharp minor. A flat minor. C sharp minor. E flat minor. B flat minor. All the black key ones. Ooh. If those were not easy for you to just go and play, practice those this week. So it says play minor triads on 12 piano keys. If those black key ones were easy for you, no problem. Go ahead and just do the random key thing. Oh, I landed on A flat. I'll play A flat minor. I landed on an A. I'll play A minor. That's totally fine. If the black key ones were a little bit challenging for you, practice just those. So that's minor triads. Now we're going to play for number 4 inversions of the minor triads that are in G major. So when we're in a major key, we know that we have major triads built on Do, built on Fa, and built on So. Do, Fa, So, back to Do. Let's go into G major now. We have minor triad triads built on La, Do, La. Hey, look, it's our relative major to minor. Do to La. Amazing. So in G major, let's play the minor triad built on La. Play and sing with me. Do, La. Then play that E minor triad. Now we're going to sing those syllables. La, do, mi, la, do. At some point you'll probably have to switch octaves. So we're singing root position, first inversion. Make sure in your right hand you have your pointer finger in the middle. And then second inversion. Go ahead and play and sing those if you didn't do it just now. Then you need to play them again in your other hand. Make sure you have the middle finger in the middle finger, and then pointer finger for the second inversion. So pay close attention to that fingering. You want this to become very normal in your hand. Not just normal, but very normal. Then we're going to do the triad built on Re. So G major again. Do, Re. A minor. Let's go ahead. You can listen or you can play or sing with me. Re, fa, la, re, la, re, fa. Go ahead and play and sing that triad. By the way, that's the same as our subdominant chord in minor, Re, Fa, La. Interesting. And then we're going to go ahead and play built on Mi. Do, Re, Mi, Mi, So, Ti. Happens to be B minor when you're in G major. Let's go ahead and you can play, sing, or listen while I do this. Mi, so, ti, mi, so. So go ahead and play and sing our Mi, so, ti in G major. So these are the three minor triads in a major scale, built on La, built on Re, and built on Mi. That gives you 6 out of the 7 triads in a major key that we're starting to do in inversions. Cool! Now, for the exploration, creativity, improvisation, we're going to look at the right side of the page. We have a chord project here. So we're going to start by playing Springtime 1 and Springtime 2 in A major. Go ahead and play that with me. There's Springtime 1. Springtime 2. You're going to chant a 4 macro beat duple meter rhythm pattern to use for your improvisation. You're going to improvise a duple meter melody in A major above the underlying harmony or the chord changes written below. Each chord symbol represents 1 macro beat. Use chord tones only. So only notes in the tonic chord and the dominant chord. Accompany the melody. Play do for the tonic sound and so for the dominant sound. Whoa. Do for tonic, so for dominant. Practice playing the root harmony, then improvise another duple meter A major melody to play with the root harmony. Okay, so here's a rhythm pattern in duple meter. Do, day, do, here I go. Do to day, do, to do. That's it. I keep wanting to do 2 of them. So you can play just 1. That's fine. It sounds like it needs to be finished. Go ahead and play another one. So notice just chord tones from the tonic chord when it says 1, and just chord tones from the dominant chord. Could be just from the 3-note chord, so ti re, or the 4-note chord, so ti re fa. Your choice. If that's easy, try starting the tonic chord in an inversion. And think about where your dominant chord would be. So, do today, do day, do to do. Above that inversion. So you can play farther than just your root position chord. So if you are ready to do that, you can try expanding the chord a little bit. All right, go ahead and play this project in A major. You can use any duple meter rhythm pattern. As you do this over the next couple of weeks, I hope that every day you do something different with this. I hope that you have a different duple meter rhythm pattern every day, and I hope that if this gets easy, if it was not easy already, then try expanding your tonic chord. Make sure you find where the dominant chord would be. You can even use just 2 notes from the dominant chord. That's very nice. So try that if you can at some point. We're going to do a couple of things that aren't in the book. So one thing is we're just going to practice some of the different arrangements of a minor triad. So we had done this extensively in earlier units with major triads, but now we're starting to do this with minor triads. So we're going to use a D minor triad. We're going to sing the syllables starting on La. So we can play it different arrangements like La, Mi, Do, Mi, La, Do, Do, Mi, La, La, Mi, Do, La, Do, Mi. You can do that same thing in an inversion. Do, Mi, La, La, Mi, Do. There we go. If it starts to get challenging, that means you're learning. So you can tell at some point in here, getting some challenging things for myself. Yay. After that, you can also do something that starts on Re, Fa, La. So even just in the root position, Re, Fa, La. If that's easy, then you do the same thing with Mi, So, Ti, Mi, So, Ti, Ti, So, Mi, Mi, Ti, So, So, Mi, Ti. So go ahead and try different arrangements using the syllables La, Do, Mi, the syllables Re, Fa, La, and the syllables Mi, So, Ti. If any of those in root position are giving you some trouble, make sure you work on those this week. Just right in the root position, you can do 2-note patterns, 3-note patterns, and 4-note patterns. I'm going to give you a duple meter rhythm pattern. Go ahead and echo it with your voice. Play it on one piano key. Improvise an idea using any piano keys in the high register of the keyboard. Then answer the idea using either the same or a different rhythm pattern. This one starts with an upbeat, so be ready. Here I go. Day do, day do, day do today do. Day do, day do, day do today do. Day do, day do today do. Get ready and improvise. Day do, day do, day do today do. And answer. Let's go ahead and review. We're going to finish our review of Unit 6 and then do some review of Unit 7 in the book. So Unit 6, looking back at the major triads on page 20, here's what I'd like you to practice with this week. Is I'd like you to think about the 3 triads in a major key and practice those. So pick any note on the piano, that's Do. We don't do C. B flat, okay, B flat's gonna be Do. So then play and sing the 3 major triads in B flat major. Do, mi, so, fa, la, do, so, ti, re. So remember that we have tonic built on Do, do, re, mi, fa, and so. Those are our 3 major triads. If you're having trouble finding those, remember that Do, mi, so. So is the root of your 5 chord, and Fa is a half step above Mi. Do, mi, fa. So let's do this with a couple of different keys. So I'm going to pick a note, and then I'd like for you to play with me the tonic, subdominant, and dominant chords singing the syllables. Here we go. D. All right, so tonic. Do, mi, so. Subdominant. Half step above Mi. Mi, fa. Fa, la, do. And then dominant. So, do, re. Let's do another one. C sharp. Not minor, not minor. All right, so tonic, go ahead and play and sing. Do, mi, so, half step above Mi, mi, fa, play subdominant, fa, la, do, and then dominant. So, ti, re. And let's do one more. Can you find the 3 major chords in E flat major? E flat major, so tonic, subdominant, and dominant. So as you practice this week, the major triads, that's what I'd like for you to do. So it's a different way to practice the triads. We're putting them in context of a key. So choose any key on the piano. If you find that it was tough for you to find the chords in F sharp major, but finding the chords in A major was easy, practice the ones that are more challenging. This is just a wonderful tool for life. This is a great practice tool in anything that you're trying to do. If you want to get better at something, pick the things that are challenging and work on those. Now, if they're challenging to the point that you can't do them at all, step it back a little bit. But pick the things that are harder for you to do, work on those, and then you're going to get a lot better, a lot faster. If you pick the easy things and just do those, you're probably not going to get much better, or certainly it will take a lot longer. Okay, Dutch folk dance. So for this one, we had reviewed the melody and the accompaniment last time. We did the rhythm pattern. We're going to think about our deeper tonal pattern today. So go ahead and play with me. This is in major tonality, E major. Melody starts on Do, triple meter. Do-da-dee-do, play with me. So for the tonal pattern, pattern, let's go ahead and sing as we play. Sing the melodic pattern. That's all the rhythm stuck in here with every note that you play. Bum, ba, bum, sing with me. Do, do, mi, re, mi, so, mi, fa, re, mi, do. Do, do, mi, re, mi, so, mi, fa, re, do. And if you have any trouble with that, go ahead and practice that now. Now let's take the very beginning of this. We're going to take the first pattern, do, do, mi, re, mi, so, mi, and we're going to put that into a tonal pattern. So first of all, just a straight up tonal pattern where we take every single note, every single pitch, and take out the rhythm. Do, mi, re, mi, so, mi, because we took out the repeated notes. Let's do that together. Do, mi, re, mi, so, mi. Now we're going to make a little deeper structure here. That mi, re, mi, we're going to think of that as our note plus a lower neighbor coming back. So our tonal pattern for do, do, mi, re, mi is just going to be do, mi. That's a lot simpler. So our whole tonal pattern, this first section, is do, mi, so, mi. Listen for that while I play it. Do, mi, so, mi. You may not like it that way, and that's okay, but I'd like for you to try it. Do, mi, so, mi. Now, our next pattern, mi, fa, re, mi, do. If we take out the repeated notes and just sing with no rhythm, mi, fa, re, mi, do. Not so bad. That has a couple of tonal patterns. A dominant pattern, tonic pattern. We go back to the beginning. We're going to lose our double mi's, and it sounds like do, mi, so, mi, fa, re, mi, do. I don't know about you, but I can hear the outline of the song as we do that. It helps that this deeper structure happens to fall right on the macro beats of the song. So that makes it a little bit easier to hear. So go ahead and sing that pattern with me. Do, mi, so, mi, fa, re, mi, do. Now let's do the second half. We start with the same pattern that was at the beginning of the song. Do, mi, so, mi. And then at the ending, mi, fa, re, do. We take out the doubled mi, so we just end up with fa, re, do. Let's sing the tonal pattern for the second half. Do, mi, so, mi, fa, re, do. Let's sing the whole song. Here we go. Do, mi, so, mi, fa, re, mi, do, do, mi, so, mi, fa, re, do. Now I am keeping in one repeated pattern, and it's just to help you separate the first half of the song from the second half of the song. So if you want, you can take out that second do, but for me, that's helpful to have that just to separate those two halves of the song. To perform it, we play it the same way that we just sang. Do, mi, so, mi, fa, re, mi, do. Second half. Do, mi, so, mi, fa, re, do. To create with it, add any rhythm. It doesn't have to be a rhythm pattern. Can be in duple meter, can be in triple meter, whatever you want to do. Sounds like I'm starting a surprise symphony. Except my ear wants to go to the surprise symphony, so that's a little bit different than this song. Something like that. try a variety of different things and to see what makes sense to you. Try things in triple meter, try things in duple meter, something with that tonal pattern. Here you go. Go ahead and mark today's date down on all of the tonal pattern activities. If you had any questions about those, be sure to talk to me about those. You can finish this later at that point. That's fine. If you finished everything in Unit 6, go ahead and mark today's date on the front cover. We're not looking at the tonic, subdominant, tonic when Do is C and La is A because we finished that last time. So moving on, we're looking at Unit 7, Honeybee. So for Honeybee, let's go ahead and review the melody and the accompaniment, and then we're going to do the rhythm pattern for this. This is in major tonality. Do is G. Melody starts on Do, Mi, Sol. Do, de, do, here I go. So remember, for this song, we have a pattern that's at the beginning and the end, an A part. Do, de, do, to, de, to, do. Start stepping down from so to mi, and then we have re up to fa and back. Do. Let's go ahead and play that first pattern. Do, de, do, play with me. Do, de, do, to, de, to, do. Lightly bounce your hand over that do to, de, to, do. That's also the pattern at the end of the song. It's exactly the same. In the middle, we go back between tonic and dominant on this same little motive. So what we're looking at is our tonal pattern. Mi to sol, mi, re to fa, re, mi to sol, mi, re to fa, re, mi, sol, mi, re, fa, re, mi, sol, mi, re, fa, re. That's our middle. Let's go ahead and play that together at that speed. Ready, play. Then when you play it, just lightly bounce. Let your arm do the bouncing to get your hand over this. Do, de, do, play the whole song with me. Now listen to the accompaniment. Practice that absolutely if you need to. And then accompaniment. By the way, if you're a music reader and you see this up here, challenge yourself to put that away and try to hear this. As soon as you start to look, you don't hear as well. We talked last time about being visual creatures as humans, and when you close your eyes, take away that visual element, you can listen more. Do, de, do, listen to the accompaniment or play along. So notice that for tonic we have do and sol, dominant is T and sol. Go ahead and practice that. And then we're going to look at the rhythm pattern. So I'm going to chant that with you one time, and then I'd like for you to perform the rhythm pattern and create with it. Do, de, do, chant with me. Do, de, do, to, de, to, do. Do, to, de, to, do, to, de, to, do, to, de, to, do, to, de, to, do, de, do, to, de, to, do. So our three patterns are A, B, A. Go ahead and chant that, perform it by playing it on one key, and create with the rhythm pattern. See what you come up with. And I think that's it. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah? All right, so here are your assignments for this unit. Number 1, audio tracks 33 through 35. 33 through 35. Number 2, keyboard geography, page 49, left side of the page, numbers 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are minor triad stuff. Number 3, improv, page 49, right side of the page. Make sure you do something different with this every day when you practice. Number 4, review units 6 and 7. If you finished unit 6, you can mark that off on the cover. Number 5, lightly row. If you did not play lightly row hands together as part of unit 16A, then go ahead and play lightly row hands together. Work on that. If you already did play lightly row hands together, just play it once and say, whew, that was easy. And number 6, we're going to look at the rhythm pattern project in the end of your book. This is on page 60. So we're doing this time projects 3 and 4. Okay, are you ready for this? Notice that project 3 says to use ba to echo the patterns that use syllables. So you're going to need syllable patterns for project 3. Project 4 says use syllables to echo the patterns that use ba. So you'll need neutral syllable patterns for project 4. So here are your tracks. Project 3, use tracks 24 and 28 in the pattern CD. Project 3, use tracks 24 and 28. For project 4, use tracks 23 and 27. For project 4, use tracks 23 and 27. If you can't remember those or didn't get those written down quickly enough, you can rewind and see it again. Yeah, it's so different being on video. Thank you very much for joining me for Music Moves for Piano, Book 3, Unit 16B. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.